All right, I wanted to make just a little recording where we're going over this free response. I'm not going to do all of it because that would take too long. I'm just saying here are the answers and let's go. Okay. If the limit as x approaches 3 equals 6, then you can plug 3 in for x and set that equal to 6 and make sure you use the f function there. Okay, and then simplify, that's step 1. And if you're going, what does that mean? Find a relationship between A and B. That means you can't solve for both of them because you have two variables but only one equation. So once we know that 9 minus 4 is 5, you can multiply that 5 to the other side to get 30. So we have 9a minus b equals 30. That's your answer. That's the relationship between A and B. That's it. If, in addition, the limit as x approaches 1 of the f function equals 1, now we can find a and b because we're going to have two equations with two unknowns. So here, x is 1 and y is 1. The limit is always a y value. And just to let you guys know, remember, 3 and 1 don't make the denominator 0. So we can plug in 3 and 1. Just, you need to think, 2 and negative 2 would make the denominator 0, but not 3 and 1. So we're good to plug those in. Here I plug in 1 and set it equal to the 1. We get a negative 3 in the denominator, so I multiply that on both sides, and we have a minus b that came from the numerator equals negative 3. So now we have these two equations, which we're going to use a system of equations to find a and b. A and b are right here. If you got those on your own, way to go. If you worked together, way to go. So the way I did it, and you may have done it differently, but I added this b to this side to solve for a, and then I took this a and I plugged it into the a here, and I showed that work here. Once you get the b value, you can find a because a is equal to b minus 3, so that minus 3, and we get this. Anytime you see the worksheet with the words step by step, that means it's very rigorous. It's like AP level, and AP level, nothing's easy, okay? So everything's going to be rigorous. Now when you did this, I don't think we had learned this yet or talked about it, so same over same would mean, sorry, I'm going to move it down. I hope that doesn't make you seasick. So we have x squared over x squared, so the horizontal asymptote is a over 1, but FRQs, you guys, the answers are connected. So if you just said it equals a, that's not true because we found a is 33 over 8. So actually you need to write down 33 over 8. Okay, I love the question D. All of this above you should be able to do. D is definitely advanced, okay? So now we're looking at G, which has those missing letters C and D. And it's saying the limit as x approaches 2 is equal to 3. But what you need to know is that 2 makes it undefined, right? Okay, if 2 were a vertical asymptote, then the limit would be undefined. But since 2 equals 3, we have a limit, even though it makes it undefined. What does that mean, you guys? So what would make a function undefined, but it would still have a limit? Well, that would be a hole, right? So even though 2 makes this undefined, we still have a limit of 3, means there's a hole. Well, now you need to go backwards in your brain and go, well, what makes a hole? What makes a hole is if the factor cancels. So we know one of these factors is x minus 2, right? Cool? Okay, what's the other factor? I don't know, but we know it's an x, and we don't know if it's plus or minus, so I'm going to put plus. I don't want to use C or D because that's what we need to find, so I'm going to make up a new letter, and my favorite letter is K, so I'm going to say K. We don't know what K is. Okay, but we do know that this factor cancels. And then we know if you plug in 2 into this, we're going to get 3, right? Is this cool? So we have 2 plus k over 2 plus 2 equals 3. 2 plus k over 4 equals 3. 2 plus k equals 12. So what does k equal? K equals 10. The question says find c and d in this, minus cx plus d. And now we know k is 10. Where did k come from? Up here. So we know k minus 2 times k plus 10 is what we're trying to find. All we need to do is FOIL this out, multiply it. So we have x squared plus 10x minus 2x minus 20. Like that. Cool? So C, now they're like really messing with us, okay? This says minus C, but we actually got a plus 8 here. So C is actually equal to negative 8. Why would they do that? I don't know. It's not very nice. Just kind of switch the sign here. And then D was plus D, so D is equal to negative 20. So there's C and D. If you got that on your own, way to go. Finger clap. Okay, I think I did all of this. So how'd you do on this? Let's see. And I said this is going to be a quick video just going over the answers. This is the limit as you approach negative 2 from the left. So you should have used the top line here from the left. And you're just plugging in negative 2. And when you do that, you get 8. Show your work. I did. I found the limit. Check. Here we go. Is g of 3 equal to the limit as x approaches 3 of the g function? Well, if you plug in 3, what do you get in the denominator? You get a 0, 9 minus 9. So g of 3 is actually undefined. It doesn't exist. So there's going to be a hole there, okay? So g of 3 can't equal the limit because it doesn't even exist. All right, I still found the limit because I'm a mathematician and I like to find things. So factored the numerator, factored the denominator, canceled the factor, which is a hole at 3. So now we know there's a hole there and not just a vertical asymptote. So if the factor cancels, it's a hole. If it doesn't cancel, it's a vertical asymptote. And how do we actually find the limit? You plug in 3 to the leftovers and you get this value 7 over 6. Sorry about that. I'm going to pause and walk to turn the lights back. Okay, lights are back on. So the point is undefined, but the limit exists. Don't say the limit doesn't exist. It does exist. It's right there. It's 7 over 6, okay? Because there's a hole. I didn't write it down, but there's a hole. In order for this limit to exist, what two limits must be equal? The limit from the left has to equal the limit from the right. So where did I get this number 8 from? Okay, remember FRQs are connected. So the limit as x approaches negative 2 from the left of f actually came from here. So see how I just wrote 8? Okay. And then the limit as you approach negative 2 from the right was 3x plus a. I just plugged in negative 2. And then your drawing should look something like this. So anytime a limit is equal to infinity here, and here, that means you're going to have a vertical asymptote at negative 2. So you should have drawn that vertical asymptote first. And as you approach it from the left, we're going to positive infinity. That's what this means. And negative infinity as you approach from the right. Now, as you go to x equals 2, there is a limit. It exists, and it's at 3. How did I know there was a hole there? Well, over here it says the point of 2 is actually at negative 4. So the point is not in the limit. And what's this information? As x is going to negative infinity, which is the left, so going this way, then your y value ends up at 0. So there's a horizontal asymptote at 0. Okay, make sure you know the difference between horizontal asymptotes and vertical asymptotes. And thanks for watching.